A growing body of evidence is revealing a hidden but critical consequence of ultra-processed food consumption in adolescence: the reduction of gut microbial diversity. Recent studies indicate that diets dominated by packaged snacks, sweetened beverages, fast food meals, and prepackaged convenience products can profoundly alter the composition and function of the gut microbiome. This is not just a short-term disruption. Changes in microbial diversity during adolescence, a critical period for gut, immune, and metabolic development, may have long-lasting consequences for health that persist into adulthood. The microbiome is an ecosystem, with trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi interacting to support digestion, nutrient absorption, immune function, and even neurological signaling. A diverse microbiome is considered a hallmark of health, providing resilience against pathogens, aiding metabolic flexibility, and modulating inflammation. Ultra-processed foods, however, tend to be low in fiber, polyphenol, and other substrates that feed beneficial gut bacteria. Instead, they are rich in refined carbohydrates, additives, emulsifiers, artificial sweeteners, and industrial fats, all of which can selectively promote the growth of less beneficial or even pathogenic species. This shifts the microbial balance, reduces species richness, and diminishes overall ecosystem stability. The consequences of these microbiome shifts are profound. Reduced diversity is linked to chronic low-grade inflammation, impaired gut barrier integrity, and altered production of short-chain fatty acids, which play key roles in regulating metabolism and immune function. In adolescents, whose immune and endocrine systems are still maturing, these disruptions may increase vulnerability to obesity, insulin resistance, allergies, and autoimmune conditions. Even subtle imbalances can amplify stress responses, alter appetite regulation, and contribute to the development of metabolic disorders later in life. Behavioral and neurological effects are also emerging. The gut communicates bidirectionally with the brain through the gut-brain axis, influencing mood, stress resilience, and cognitive function. Microbial imbalances associated with ultra-processed diets may disrupt neurotransmitter production, impair signaling pathways, and increase susceptibility to anxiety, depressive symptoms, and emotional dysregulation. Adolescents already face heightened psychosocial stress, and microbiome perturbations can exacerbate vulnerabilities, creating a feedback loop where diet-induced microbial changes worsen mood and drive further consumption of hyperpalatable foods. The danger is compounded by the longevity of these effects. Adolescence is a critical window for establishing the baseline composition of the microbiome. If ultra-processed diets dominate during these years, they may entrench microbial imbalances that are difficult to reverse, even if dietary patterns improve later. Reintroducing fiber-rich, nutrient-dense foods may help, but some species lost to chronic UPF exposure may never fully recover, leaving lasting vulnerabilities in metabolic, immune, and mental health. From a public health perspective, the findings are alarming. Many adolescents live in environments saturated with ultra-processed products: school cafeterias, vending machines, fast food outlets, and social spaces where convenience and taste trump nutrition. Repeated exposure is effectively programming the gut microbiome for reduced diversity, lower resilience, and increased disease susceptibility. The consequences are invisible in the short term, but the long-term impact may include increased rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, chronic inflammatory conditions, and mental health disorders across an entire generation. The takeaway is stark. Ultra-processed diets are not just empty calories. They are actively reshaping the gut microbiome in adolescence in ways that may have enduring health implications. Reduced microbial diversity undermines metabolism, immunity, and even emotional regulation, creating a hidden but potent mechanism through which these foods harm long-term well-being. The warning is clear. Habitual consumption of ultra-processed foods during adolescence is a silent but significant risk factor, programming the gut ecosystem in a way that can predispose youth to chronic disease and compromised health decades later.